Have you ever looked at a Miata and wondered why it has such a long hood and a short trunk? Well, technically, that's because it's mid-engine. Yup, a Miata is mid-engined. Let that sink in. No, it's not behind me like an Italian supercar. It's actually in front of me, and quite close actually. The engine sits behind the center point of the front wheels, so technically, that makes this thing mid-engine. Please forgive me. So if you're in the market for a new sports car, something that, rear wheel drive, has a manual transmission, and a really good power to weight ratio, you've probably realized that there's not many options in this class. You've got like the Miata, and you have the Subaru BRZ, Toyota 86. All those cars are offered with a manual. All those cars have a great power to weight ratio. And all of those cars are rear wheel drive. So if you're looking to buy a Miata, chances are you're a bit of a car guy. You probably want something that handles really well, something that'll take a corner and make it really fun, and something that, you can take the top down if you want. This 2021 MX-5 Miata does all of those things. So what's powering the 2021 Miata, or MX-5? I call it a Miata, it's like the same thing. Well, this here, we have a naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder, and that 2-liter 4-cylinder makes 181 horsepower and about 150 pound-feet of torque. That might not seem like a lot, but this car doesn't weigh a lot either. And that engine sends its power out through a 6-speed manual transmission. And this Miata that we're driving is the RF, which stands for retractable fastback. That means this guy has a hard top, and it drops when you want it to. So that engine and transmission brings this MX-5 from 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. Now, that's not supercar fast, but for a car that'll take a corner like this thing does, that's definitely respectable. How about styling though? The MX-5 looks really awesome. Up front, we have really nice headlights, and they are LED. You've got a sweet looking grille and these really, really aggressive looking bulges on the hood. And that's something that I've absolutely come to fall in love with in my time driving this MX-5. When you're looking out over the hood, you can see those bulges, and it really makes you feel like you're in something special. Now down the side, our MX-5 has alloy wheels that are blacked out. They look really nice. You've got some really sweet looking body lines running from front to back. And then around back, one of my favorite things are these tail lights. They've got a circle and this like triangle thing coming off of them. I think they look really premium. They look really nice. You've got your reverse lights down towards the bottom of the bumper, and then a dual exhaust tip, which actually sounds really good. So I think there's something to be said about a car that you can drive pretty much wide open throttle everywhere you go. A lot of cars, 400, 500 horsepower, you're not really able to use that legally on the street. Yeah, you can use it, but if you're on the throttle for more than 5 seconds, you're committing a felony. This car, you can ring it through the gears, go wide open just about everywhere, and just have this giant, stupid smile on your face. And that's something to love, and that's something to appreciate, especially in today's world of overpowered cars. So how about the interior? Well, the MX-5 has a pretty nice interior too. First thing that you notice when you step inside, you've got this color match trim here on the top of the doors. Looks really premium. I absolutely love that. It's black like our test car is, and if you get a red one, it's red. All of your switchgear feels fantastic. All your buttons are very clicky. Mazda's always done a good job at having really tactile buttons, and mushy buttons, they just don't feel good. I like to be able to know when I push something, and Mazda, they take care of you there. Aside from the switchgear, we've got some really cool vents up here on the dash. I love that they're circles and you can point them exactly where you want it to go. It's really simple. We've got a leather wrapped steering wheel, again with some really nice tactile buttons here on the steering wheel. We've got our audio controls, as well as, you know, you can seek tracks. All of your phone controls are right here. Everything is really easy to access. And even your turn signal stalks feel pretty premium for a car that's this small and this affordable. That's really nice. In the center, we've got our infotainment display, and it is a touchscreen, kind of. So I don't know why Mazda does this, but if you're at a stop, you can touch the screen. If you're driving, you gotta use the wheel, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, don't get me wrong, but once you get used to that, it becomes really easy to use. And that scroll wheel, it's really clicky, and I mean, as I've said like 4 times already, tactile feel is the way to go. I wanna know when I've made a selection, and with this thing, it's really easy. You can hear everything. So that screen has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is great. You don't have to worry about maps not being updated or anything like that. Just hop on Google Maps, you're good to go. You wanna send a text message to your wife? Press the little speech button right here on the steering wheel. Tell Siri to do it for you. She'll take care of you. So the clutch feel is really light, but that just makes this car really easy to drive. And if you've ever driven manual before, which chances are if you're looking at this car, you probably have, heavy clutches are nice, but you can't daily them. It becomes a workout for your leg. So our RF also has heated seats up front, which is nice in the winter if you want to hoon this thing around in the snow, which I could only imagine with a set of snow tires on this thing in the winter, it's probably a blast. I'm having a blast just on summer tires in the summer driving around the city. This car is just a fun car to drive. That's the whole thing about the Miata. And like I mentioned in the intro, technically speaking, this thing is mid-engine. The engine sits behind the front wheels, and that gives this car a really, really good balance. So if I want to just throw it into a corner, I can do that, and it's very easy. This car feels so well balanced. It feels so solid. The chassis is very stable. And as a performance car, as a sports car, it's exactly what you're looking for. And you know, this is a small car, so you're probably thinking, small car, that thing's got no storage. Well, you're wrong. Behind the passenger seat, there's a little storage compartment. It's kind of hidden. If you ever want to have something that people aren't going to find, that's the spot to put it. You also have a little center console here, which, you know, it'll hold your wallet, your keys, that kind of stuff. And then right here behind me, we have another locking compartment, perfect for just about anything. You could probably fit a smaller purse in there if you got your girlfriend in the car, whatever. And even the trunk, for something that's this small, it has a good amount of space. We were able to fit both of our backpacks full of gear. I was able to fit my drone bag back there. I mean, literally, pretty much all of our review gear fit back there. So in conclusion, if you're in the market for a compact sports car, and you're looking at the GT86, the Subaru BRZ, or really anything else in this class, you need to come test drive a Miata first, because the Miata's the original. The Miata's been around longer than both of those cars, and that means that they've had time to perfect the formula. That means that they've had time to perfect the formula. They've had time to perfect power to weight, great handling. Yeah, you got body roll, like I said, but in a car like this, I mean, it still handles really good, so who cares? You can always add aftermarket sway bars, and that's obviously gonna make this thing just so much more agile. But in short, this is a car that you definitely need to check out, and something you definitely should put in your garage. And if you're ready to put this thing in your garage, come stop by McGrath City Mazda, and my team and I will get you taken care of the right way every time. There's a reason our slogan is when you do the math, you choose McGrath. So that's gonna wrap this one up, guys. My name's Steve with McGrath Imports. This is the 2021 Mazda MX-5 Miata. RF in manual.